Right. The Benton County Sheriff's Office is encouraging all of us to take some extra caution and time during heavy summer traffic after one of its deputies was involved in a crash on Highway 7 near Warsaw. A car pulled out in front of Andrew Ellers, forcing him off the roadway and hitting a sign. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. He and K-9 Officer Billy are expected to make a full recovery.
Former President